Hello and welcome, everyone. I have to tell you, I love your little notes popping in here. Thank you, Casey. People are helping answer questions. And I gotta say, as I'm watching you all log on, as much as I am, of course, very uh, partial to the names that I know and the Land Academy members that I recognize, I am so excited to see a lot of names and attendees here that I don't know. So welcome. I have a lot of great stuff to share with you today. I love your checking in. Oh, sunny, wet California, the chat. I'm so happy. I haven't done this. Gosh, it's been kind of a couple months, I think, since I've done a live thing like this. So it is long overdue. And again, I'm so happy to be here and answer your questions. So bring it. I will try to keep up with the chat. As you can see, it already gets going pretty, it gets pretty busy and garbled. So I can't always spot questions in there. So if you put something in the chat that I miss, pop it in the Q&A, because I will definitely go through and make sure and check those off and not miss anything. So yes, and there will be a replay made available. So let me start by saying I got some stuff coming to you that I've never done before. If you don't join, if you've been thinking about this, let's put it this way too. If you've been thinking about this, on the fence about this is going to push you over the edge when you see what's coming. So part of what I'm going to talk about today, and then part of what's going to be coming about 20 minutes in your email, you're going to fall over. So I really want to hook up some more people. So let me just start by saying real quick, why am I doing this? A couple reasons. I want to help everybody. I want to talk about changes and things that you need to be ready for in 2024. I want to hook up our members, and I want to hook up you. So let me start with a little story here, and then I'll begin with my presentation. So Jack and I, Jack, AKA Steven, goes by both. You could pick one. It's Steven Jack Butala, if you're wondering the confusion. So that's why. But we were recorded shows today. We recorded a show for tomorrow, and then we recorded for next week. So anyway, as we were recording today, oh shoot, I already lost my little train of thought with that Steven Jack Butala thing. How funny is that? I had a funny story. Oh, I know what it was. So I shared on the podcast. There we go. I shared a little story on the podcast about how every person that joins Land Academy seems to have the same thinking, and they send me the same note. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be part of it. Can I please be the last one? So I thought, I wanted to say, I get it. I know it. And I know a lot of you were very, very happy when I locked it up for a few months and said, all right, we're closing enrollment. Let's all work on our own deals. We got enough stuff going on here. There's stuff I want to work on with you all, from LA Pro and Career Path and all kinds of other things that we've got coming, and really push you forward. But there comes a point where we need new members. And guess why? A lot of it is there's a lot of money in this group. So one of the great things about Land Academy, and once you get in and you get going, if you need money to do deals, there's so much money in this community, it's not even funny. You don't have to look very far to get a deal funded. So, and then on the flip side, for those of you who have been with me for a while, and I know there's some of you on this call that have been with us, gosh, for years. I mean, Land Academy, we've been doing this since 2019 as Land Academy. So there's some of you that have been with me for 9 years. And one of the great things about newbies coming in is, hey, they need money. They need money, and you're there to fund their deals. So I know you want to be the last one, but trust me, I promise it's good. And I also promise this, that my team does a really good job of vetting members, weeding out and supporting and getting the right people. Those of you here today who are obviously serious about this, the right people on your way, whether you're new to this or whether you're been an investor for a while and you're just here because you've heard about us, you've learned some of the things that we do that are different, and I'm going to talk about that more here. So welcome everyone. So let me dive in. So this quote I copied from somebody else. I kind of reworded it, but it hit me the other day. Even for me, this came to me and I'm like, wow, the scariest place to be is the same place as last year. This is January 2024. Let's not be having the same conversation in January 2025. That's what this is about today. So I'm gonna start a little bit with for those of you who don't know who we are, a little bit about us and Land Academy. So that's my sweet partner, Stephen. And gosh, there have been some great emails that went out too recently from my team that really about the history of us. I say, go dig those out and read them because they were some really good, they were really written well. It wasn't me. Anyway, he started this back in the 90s. I mean, really, we've been doing land since, gosh, I want to say 92 he started. It's just crazy. And he figured this all out. This whole direct mail thing came from faxes, came from, not wanting to cold call people back in the day. It was just way before we had the tools that we have now. So that's a lot of why we're successful, and that you're here is because, like I put at the bottom there, if you didn't know, you know now. We are the most experienced in the business. I would love for you to find someone who's done more deals than we have. I will take that challenge, because I don't think that any person exists. And it's really my Stephen, from thousands of deals, multiple auctions happening at the same time. Sure, back in the day on eBay, crazy stuff, to where we are today. So we're sitting around 17,000 deals, and it's not our community, it's us. It's the deals that we have done. And again, you're here because of our experience. So he was doing deals that long. I came along, 15 years ago. Here we are. And then in 2015, we launched Land Academy. And that has been our way of helping new and seasoned pros, either start a land business or grow it to where we are. That's been our whole thing. And it became because of our buyers, our wholesale buyers bugged us, basically. Back in the day, I'm selling it to other investors, 15 years ago. Imagine what the data was like 15 years ago. It's hilarious. And mapping, it didn't exist. It was comical what we had to do to find these properties, but we did it. And here we are. And that's the greatest thing too, as time goes on, and wherever you are jumping into this business, you're not too late, and it's good timing, because every year it gets better. It gets easier and better. And we'll talk about some of the nuances today. So like I said, we've been doing 10 years of this. We have so many, I probably have thousands of successful investors, but I like to keep it small. I really do keep it around 500. That's my goal, is to keep around so we can interact with you. I can do these live things. I can be on calls with you. I can personally answer your questions. That's our point. Today, I want to talk about 3 things for 2024: accept, adapt, attack, and then I'll have some Q&A and my special announcement coming up. Yes, you can notice we've been traveling in the snow a little bit, so I tried to roll in some of our fun pictures over the last couple of weeks as we've been rolling around in our RV, looking at land and goofing off, a little bit of both. So I really sat down yesterday as I started to put the slides together. I've been thinking about this for days and weeks about what I wanted to talk about today. But as I put the slides together and I had my thoughts, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run in the other room. I'm going to ask Jack what he thinks. Like, if I had, if I came to you right now, real quick, give me your answer. What's the top things that people need to know about buying and selling land in 2024? He did not bat an eye, and it ties right in with mine. He's like, you know what? You got to pick the right county and you got to follow through. Like, okay, got it. It's not bigger. It's not like I need this or that. These are the real big things you've got to do if you're going to be successful right now. And I'll talk about what that means and hear how we can help you. So accept what are you talking about, Jill? You got to know who you are. It really comes down to there's a lot of moving parts in this business. And if you don't know and accept what you like to do and what you're good at and what you should do and should not do, you won't be successful. Period. You'll burn out, by the way. And if so, we all know, well, not we all know, for those of you just meeting me, I will tell you, I'm the talker, I'm the sales one. Jack loves to be behind the scenes, doing data, running numbers, picking counties, pricing offers, getting them in the mail. That's kind of when he's out. That's his happy space. That's not what I want to do. I always tell him his only job, and it's never changed, has been to make my phone ring. Whether it's a seller, a property owner who got an offer from us, or it's a listing that we have for sale that somebody wants to buy my property, like just make my phone ring. So we long ago, you know who you are. We talked about this too in one of our podcasts coming up. Like, if you don't know by now what you're good at and what you like at, then we got bigger things to cover. So come on, you know what you're good at, you know what you're not good at. There's things you might pretend that you're good at and you really shouldn't do. So that's a lot of it. And once you accept that, you're like, all right, I keep trying to do my own scrubbing. I keep trying to do whatever. I just need to stop it. Jill, you're right. I'm holding myself back. Yeah, because you probably are. You need to find a partner or hire somebody, depending what it is, to solve that for you, period. One of the things I did long ago is I'm okay with paperwork, but I don't like paperwork. So one of the very first things I solved a long time ago was somebody else to do my paperwork. I'm like, I'm really good on the phone, but when I hang up the phone and I have to go, open escrow and close a deal and do all this paperwork and wiring things and whatever, that bogs me down. And it's keeping me from doing what I'm really great at, is taking the next call and lining up the next seller. That's it. I should be, yep, I'll buy it, pass it on. Yep, I'll buy it, pass it on. Guess what? That's what I do now. So you need to figure that out. And one of the great things about Land Academy is, especially within our community, there's so much resource sharing and other sharing. You're going to probably find a partner. You just put it out there. I'll tell you now, you could do it here. Hey, I'm a Jill. Hey, I'm a Jack, and watch who comes up and says, great, I need a Jack, or great, I need a Jill. So you've got to do that. And one of the things is one of you has to be really good. I'm just going to be honest with you. We're data nuts. In Land Academy, we don't have dartboards. There's no secret county list. We don't, there's no guessing around here. We are really, I say we, but I mean Jack, and we as a group are data nuts. So you've got to have a really good understanding, or get someone who can read and understand, breeze Excel, not afraid of a spreadsheet that's 10,000 lines long and 300 columns wide, and can look at that and know what's going on, because that's what we do. Don't want to scare you, and it's not that you can't. I can figure it out. You don't have to be a PhD in Excel, although we have lots of that in our group. You do need to be able to understand that. And my point in saying this is, we're so data heavy that we don't mess around. We use data to do the heavy lifting and really make smart decisions, like where we pick to send mail. What? Yeah. It's not just, I heard a rumor or I talked to an agent. I might start with that. Maybe I hear from an agent or I sold something. I'm like, oh, what's going on over there? Then we immediately sit down and start running numbers. Does it really make sense? When we're looking at areas to send mail, we always start with trolling. We call it that. And then we take it to the next level. We have our regular green test, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute here, of what it looks like, where we pit zip codes together. We'll pull stuff from a county and look at zip codes, look at days on market, and it's all kinds of data. We show you where to get it. We give you the spreadsheet, show you where to find the information, how to copy it into your spreadsheet, and then you can sit back and look at it and go, oh, so you're making really, really smart decisions. We look at data for like property owners to select, and especially too, think about what prices to offer. There's a lot that goes into that, a whole lot that goes into that. I'll tell you, and it's so great because we're at the level and that I don't have to think about it. I can't remember the last time, it's been a while, but if an offer comes back signed, I'm probably going to buy it. There's a lot that went into it, but we teach you how to look for that too and do your due diligence and all that. So you make a really smart decision. So my thing is, this is step one, accept who you are. If you don't do this, you're going to find yourself doing stuff wrong. You're going to waste money. You're not going to do deals. And my biggest fear is you're going to lose interest. I don't want you to fail. You just have to ask us to, by the way, assessor data, we're going to help you with this. We'll show you step by step in Land Academy. I know this may sound a little scary. If you just have the passion, you're going to do it. We will show you the steps. And then every darn week, you can ask us if you have some questions. We share it all with you. All right. This is a little sneak peek, of some of our data. This is our regular green test. Just kind of give you an idea, what we plug into here, days on market, new list depending, the total number of parcels available on the market, the total number of parcels in that zip code here. It's broken down by zip code, in these different counties, where we pulled it from. So just one example, you can see this is right when you join Land Academy, like the minute you join Land Academy, you get access to this spreadsheet. This is our, equity planner. You can go in there and see all these goals. Like the equity goal is, sitting, what do you want to make this year? What your budget looks like, some examples of offer pricing, things you should be working on, some of these different tests that we use, just to show you. And I have another one here. This is broken out a little bit more with a couple lots of different areas. This is kind of just by county, starting at that level. Same thing, this is actually, this is kind of funny. I think this is a house one. Yeah, this is actually, I think, a house mailer too, because we do that too. Adapt. All right. What do I need to be doing differently in 2024? You need to get good at this stuff, and you need to be looking at other things that other people aren't. I talked to a really nice guy the other day. Hopefully he's on this call. And we talked about, trolling for areas and different price properties where other people aren't comfortable mailing. So he got his feet wet, very nice. He said, you know what? I came from Mark's group. I said, great. I love that. He's like, I read Mark's book, the Buy Dirt or Dirt. I can't remember what Mark's book is. I said, great. I said, remember in the beginning of the book where Mark talks about, I'm talking about Mark Podolsky, the land geek. I said, remember when Mark talks about that person that he worked with in investment banking, that he said, what the heck are you doing? And he sat him down at his coffee table, and this person explained to him what the heck he's doing with this land. I said, congratulations. Now you know who my Jack is. That's my Jack, my Steven. That's the guy who showed. I'm like, I love that, because I can kind of say, Mark was kind of the first student here. Talk about a success story. So, but he said, I came from Mark's group and I'm done with terms. I'm overbuying for 1,000, selling for 5, or 3,000, selling for 10. He said, I've got a taste of doing deals that net $20,000, and that's all I want to do. And I said, well, welcome to Land Academy. That's who we are. And you are in great company here. We have several folks that came from other communities, and they came to us because they learned that we're kind of the guys, we are the guys that take you to that level. So whatever your number is, for me, I don't want to do a deal that doesn't yield less than $50,000. I've got people in my group that don't do deals less than $100,000, and maybe they do 1 or 2 a month. That's it. That's not a bad life. If you can't live on $100,000 a month or even $50,000 a month, we need to talk. So anyway, it was really good. So we were talking about different things to do for 2024. And what I want you to think about is getting comfortable adding 0. I have a lot less competition when I'm writing offers to buy property for sellers for $105,000. And I have the cash to back it up. And guess what? So do you. Because you come to me with a deal, and that has happened. Come to me with a deal like, Jill, we got to buy this. It's $120,000. I think it's worth $400,000. I'm going to look at it with you, obviously, and we're going to make some decisions. I'm going to go, you bet, let's do it. And I'll help you. And there's so many people in the group that would fund that. You would fund that. So that's the thing I'm trying to hit home too, is there's people in our group that have no interest in even sending out offers. They are only here because they know how smart this Land Academy group is. They've seen what's going on. They know what we're capable of, and they just want to fund other people's deals. And that's okay too. So, except that it might take more mail or more offers to land deals. And that's okay. I'm going to tell you a story here in a minute about that, but that's okay. It might take more. Back 20 years ago, nobody was sending offers. It was comical. The biggest thing was, people going, is this real? I'm like, yeah. They're like, really? Now it's a little different, but are there still areas out there that people aren't hitting? Yeah. Are there still people coming on our Thursday member calls in counties that I didn't know, I've never worked in? Yes, definitely. I've got people on this call right now. They're like, oh, I don't do west of the Mississippi. And I go, great, because I don't really like east of the Mississippi. It's kind of funny. You kind of find a niche. I said, get trolling for niches. As you get going, you're going to find an area. And I'll tell you, you can find one part of the country. You could find one state. You could even find one county. It might be a bigger county, but you could find one county and be happy for years doing deals in that county, especially after you build up your little network. Maybe you figure out, I'm the only one that can solve these probate problems for these people or these tax problems, whatever it is. Run with it. I figured out how to do this with these properties. It takes me 90 days. I split them, and look what I can do with that. Sure, there's so much. So adapt. And then also make sure, this is another thing that's really important to me, because this comes up still. You need to make sure the best person answering your calls is the only person answering your calls, because it might not be you. All right. You might need to look at someone else, because there's a couple things going on right now. We need to have these sellers quickly fall in love with you, basically. You need to quickly have your person build a rapport with them so they want to sell with you and then go for these higher numbers. And I watched someone today put something, it seems so basic. And there was a note in, I remember it was Dan, I remember who put it in, but note in Discord today in our closed community. And they're like, look, answer your phone, call these people back, do what you say, be professional. Yeah, there's a lot to that, because there's a lot of people that don't do those things. And we are, and we're getting deals. Okay, my third one, attack. This is the thing that Jack and I both agree on here the most. This is where most people fail. They don't take action. Even right now on this call, I bet that there's some people, I won't remember names, so don't worry, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody, but look, I know there's some people on this call that have been following us for years. I had people that is like, I listened to your podcast for 2 years and here I am. You know what? So what? Now's the time. Just do it. You've got to take some action. Whatever it is. Maybe it's not even this. Just you need to take some action, do something. Maybe your action is saving up so you can do this. Maybe your action is taking another part-time job or something. I don't know. Just or cutting back on some things so you could afford to do something like this. but you've got to do it. And you've got to be ready and accept you are going to make mistakes. It is going to happen. And I love Jack's saying is we're never going to let you fall that far. So keep us in the loop. If you need help, ask. We can help you. And that's the nice thing about us too. Can't remember the last time I was stumped. With 17,000 deals. If I've not been in your situation, I probably have a good idea how to get out of it. So whatever pickle you're in, I've most likely dealt with it. So we can help you and just ask. So again, I'm just going to hit this home because this is my new thing right now. I love this. I don't want you to be in this situation again. I want you to move forward. I'm going to make it so easy for you. Can't miss. So this is what I wanted to share, a little quick little thing. This was in Discord, dated January 3rd. I'm going to kind of summarize a little bit of this. So this is a member of Land Academy. He's like really nicely said, look, I joined in July of 2022, and I'm going to give you the update of everything that's happened to me so far. And this is great because he even says in here, look, I didn't do this right. I didn't do that right. I didn't do this right, but here's my results. And for those of you who saw this in Discord, this is like 1/3 of the post. It keeps going with more things in there. He did a really nice job, and I really appreciate him sharing this. So he's like, look, here's my deal. I saved up enough money from my previous job, so I self-funded all my deals at this point. I generally target 5 or more acres of rural vacant land in the Midwest and the South. I don't have any specializations like infill lots or commercial lots, etc. My approach is somewhat average. I only send mail. I don't love sales, but I call everyone back whose property is at least somewhat desirable. I'm not super precise with my mailer and my county selection, but I get them out the door in good quantity. I probably could buy a bit cheaper, but I tend towards just doing the deal if the numbers work anyway. I could maybe hold out for higher sales prices, but I'd rather just get my money back sooner. I outsource my regular green test, so not as data savvy, and I get that, and that's okay. Or the time might be an issue. I have an answering service and only sell with brokers, but I pretty much do everything else myself, and I average 3 to 4 deals a month. So here's his numbers. So from July 1, 2022 to January 2nd, he mailed out 360,528 offers. The whole net purchase, $1,472,973 and change. His net sales, $2,106,483. So what was his profits from the land flips here? So profits from this were $633,510. Total deals completed, 45. Average profit per deal, $14,078. And his mailer yield, he is not upset about this. And this is what I want people to know too. 8,000 offers to 1. Now, again, is he being picky? Maybe. Could he do more? Probably. There's changes that he could make, and he goes on, he talks about all that. But the whole thing is, he even put in his expenses and a chart, and I love this. He's like, you know what? All in with my $262,000 in expenses, here's what I made. $371,269.88 in that time. I'm good with that. Really good with that. And that's just, doing those deals. His profit was $14,000. He's probably buying these a lot less than he could. Boy, this person adds a 0. Holy moly. What's that going to do to this bottom number? So, okay, I want to share with you. There's emails, by the way. While you're on this call, an email may have popped in, FYI. So while you're perusing this email, I want to just kind of talk a little bit about what is included with Land Academy, because we're education and tools and support. We do all 3. So I'm just going to just kind of briefly go over what's included. And then you guys ask me any questions too. You can start, throwing them in here, I'll get to that in a second here, Rich. Which line does never need to be on for you? How much land? I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, I'll answer all kinds of questions too. I'll do some now as we go on, and I'll do some, at the end. I've got some more stuff to share. So when you join Land Academy, you are dead in the water unless you have good data. And when we first launched Land Academy, we weren't licensed providers of data. I would just tell everybody, go get it, go get it, go get it. And we were all spending way too much. So we became licensed providers, and it's changed over the years too, what providers we've used. I'm always trying to be 2 steps ahead of you to make sure that we all have the best data and the cheapest mail and all the resources we need to do our due diligence, including, stuff like this. And heck, every week on the call, answering your questions and looking at deals to really help, push you forward. So there is a membership. And my point in saying this is, it is so cheap compared to going and getting all the stuff on your own. I promise. And that's why people have been with us for 3 years. They're like, oh my gosh. So really what you're going to spend, just so you know, when you join Land Academy, it's at least a 12-month commitment, because all of my contracts are 12 months. So, but here's what you get. So you get all of our education programs since 2015 to now. And Land Academy 4.0 is slowly getting worked on. I don't have a release date for that, but it's slowly getting worked on because I don't have a lot to update now from Land Academy 3.0, which was in 2023. So, but as long as you're an active member, when I roll out a new education, it just pops in. It's just like, here you go. Here's new Land Academy, and that's for you. Info lots are in there. For any of you that are interested in that, we have a whole separate little program with the nuances of info lots that's included. Every week you get support on live member calls, not to mention Discord. Boy, that's 24 hours. There's always somebody on Discord with our group. Nationwide access to data tree. That's a lot of it. And then included in that, you get 1,000 free records. So that's what this is. Our equity planner, how to use them, our red, yellow, green tests, how to use them. We have free orientation groups when you start. So there's a place to go and get you on the right path and show you the tools. And it's live, led by our sweet Carl and Samantha Lathis, and get you on your way. And so you know what you're doing and where you're going, kind of thing. That's all included with everything. Deeds and contracts and maps, my inbound call script. There's so much that we do. And if you need something else, this is what's funny. We're famous for like saying, okay, we could do that. What else do you need? If I could just have this. All right, give me a minute and we'll work on that. Pat Live discounts if you need help answering your phone. Our member calls. All of our Thursday weekly member calls have been recorded since 2015. There's a lot. So those are all there for you. Free deeds, help selling, special pricing from offers to owners and parcel fact, everything. And of course, that's kind of getting you started. When you're ready, or heck, you may be ready now. When you want to really hit this home, we have our own high-level kind of mastermind coaching program. I'm not going to talk a lot about that today because I haven't announced it yet to Land Academy. But career path, I'm going to do 2 this year. And we're going to announce 1 on Thursday. So Land Academy Pro, that we just did this year, that we've only had a few people so far. We've been, now it's open with Career Path alumni, which is basically my transaction coordinator team is helping close your deals. It's amazing. And that's just an example. And we've got some more things planned. So you're always first for that kind of stuff. So here it is. Oh, good. Thank you, guys. All right. We are officially, temporarily reopen now. And if you check your email, you should have received a notice about a crazy thing that I'm doing right now, but I don't want to share it to the public. So it's not here. You have to go look in your email. So, and it's this special as a test. I've never done this before. And it's for anybody who's on this call who is not a member. I want to clarify that. This is a special thing that I'm testing. Check your email. You've got till Friday. I went back and forth with that. Do I make it 24 hours? I'm giving you till Friday. So again, we've never done this. I'm not putting anything on this call. So even the recordings, you need to, as you're recording this, you're probably going to need to reach out to support at Land Academy. And we'll go from there. This is actually really just something special for those of you that are live with me. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So now you can see why I've never done this before. It's kind of like, all right, if I don't do this now, I'm probably never going to do it, right, Giovanni? So that's the thing. So for those of you live on this call right now who are opening your email saying, holy cow, I would jump in. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll do this again, but again, it's very, very special. Now and I'm gonna get some more questions here too. For my, you're welcome. For my Career Path 9 people, or for my Land Academy people, or for anybody who's thinking about Career Path, like, all right, Jill, I'm in, and hey, I just sold my company, or I've been doing this, and hey, I'm that guy. I'm from Mark's group. I don't need the basics. I want to dive in and I want to hit this, hard, and I want to be in Career Path. All right, so here's the deal. I'm doing 2 this year, 1 this spring and 1 in the fall. That's it. And all the details are going to be released on Thursday. So need to watch for that. So the schedule, the timing, any little things about it will be coming out on our Thursday member call. So here's a thing. Today's Tuesday. If you join today, you'll be on the call on Thursday. So you can do that too. So I'd say jump in. Again, this is for anyone here who's not a member will have got this email. So if you think you should have gotten the email right now, please send a note to support@landacademy.com. And my team will then get a note to who sent the email, and they will make sure that you will get that sent that. So, okay. Oh, check your spam. Thank you, Dan. Didn't even think about that. Oh yeah. Check your spam, check your junk. That happens to me all the time. So yeah. So some of you, like my sweet Samantha here, you probably didn't get the email. So, but it's good and it's cool. All right. One more little thing for our data company. I just want you guys to know too about this. One of the things that we launched Land Academy, the first thing people asked for was to connect with us. Or like, we have questions. Okay. So we created an online community. And the second thing they said was, I'm hung up on a mail merge and I'm hung up finding a printing company. I'm having trouble with this. And gosh, it's expensive. Like, okay, knock that up. So we made one. So Offers to Owners is our direct mail company. And only in the last, 12 or so months, I want to say, I can't remember, a little over a year, we've been doing concierge data, which is basically your land mailer done for you. So just so you know, you have this option. If you don't want to, I'm not good at this, Jill. I'm really good on the phone and I don't have anybody to help me yet. So use concierge data. They will hook you up. You can pick up the phone. You'll learn how to troll, what areas to do that. I want you to know that. And then when you're like, okay, now I'm ready to I don't want to take a week figuring out how to download and scrub this stuff. Don't worry about it. Call concierge. They'll do it for you. You can tell them what you want. They'll download it. They'll scrub it. They'll scrape comps for you and put them in a spreadsheet for you. So they'll say, here's where we are with the pricing. How do you want to tweak it? Do you want to go up in your percentage? Do you want to go down in your percentage? What do you want? They'll give you a flat starter one and you go tweak it. And then they'll get it in the mail for you. So, and you can just reach them here at support or call them. And right now there's a special 20% off. USPS 20 is the code to get 20% off with concierge data. So check that out. And it's true. What's funny is when we first released this product, I thought it was going to be more folks, like I explained, that are just still kind of new to this. I'm learning. That's a lot for me to swallow right now. Can someone help me with this hurdle? But no, it's been more of our pros are like, thank you. I know how to do it. I know how to scrub it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to scrub it. It's worth it to me to spend a little extra money, have somebody else do it. And it's certainly cheaper than hiring an employee to sit there and do this for me. So it's a great option. You can just pay by the units. So thank you guys. Yep, done for you land mailers. All right, let's do some questions. So bring it. Why does my Zoom thing say I'm muted? I'm not muted, right? Make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, things are coming in. Zoom is weird sometimes. You know how that goes. All right. Thank you, Giovanni. Okay, good. Perfect. What does the deal? Oh, okay. Couple questions here. This is so good. All right, so I'm gonna get from the chat and I'll come back over here. So Craig says, got the email, incredible, right? Like I haven't done anything like this since before we launched Land Academy. Like, so if this is my point here. If this doesn't push you over the edge, nothing will. So this is the time. So the deal expires on Friday, right? So that code and that information there, that special thing, you need to do it by Friday. It's a 1-year commitment. So I want you to be ready for that because again, my contracts are a year. So you're going to pay that amount to join. And then you're just going to be rolled into it's normally it's $295 a month is what you pay. But when you back out your data, I get you 1,000 free records anyway every month. So then when you look at it that way, at 10 cents a record, you're really spending $195 a month. And trust me, when you get in and see this group and see what's there, you're going to be like, Jill, I should be giving you, 500 or 1,000 a month. So anyway, that's, you'll get, I promise you'll get your money's worth with that, but that's to answer your question. So it's a 1-year commitment. And then it rolls over a year. So, are there any states or counties you just won't buy or sell in? You're welcome, Craig. Honestly, no. I mean, there's personal things that I don't like. I'm not going to do I haven't done Alaska. I know people that have. Hawaii, I've done Hawaii and not really. It's just, you know what? You're going to learn to troll and you're going to go for the areas that make sense that things are happening. And you're going to learn to troll so you know how to spot those areas, right? Then when you spot, 10 areas, let's just say, you're going to know how to sit down, use our regular green test, and then start putting counties in there and putting zip codes in there. And you're going to really look at it and you're going to make very smart decisions. So is there any states or counties I won't buy or sell in? Yeah, the stupid ones that aren't doing any movement right now, or the ones that are just too hot. I'm not going to get into a bidding war. I'm going to go for the good ones and we'll show you how to do that. And we talk about that a lot in our group. So, all right, here we come. Well, welcome, Giovanni. Welcome to Land Academy. Okay, so if my team, I don't know if you guys can send me notes, maybe Joey can, or put it in here we go. Oh, okay, now I got your name in here. So welcome. All right, so if you guys are doing it right now, I'll give you a little love live on this call. Thank you so much. Yeah, will we help you figure out if it's a land deal? If it's a good deal? Oh yeah, like every week, or like throw it in Discord, ask away. So absolutely. One of the things that we do on our Thursday calls is, would you do this deal? And it's closed. And it's your opportunity you give a state, county, APN. I look it up like it's my land deal. And I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to go, all right, Craig, what's the story? Why are they selling? I don't see access, Craig. What am I missing? You're going to go, oh, there's an easement. Okay, got it. All right, let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the comps. Let's make sure, you look at the deal with me and we go through all the 8 A's of it, and you'll learn what that is later, to make sure you're making a good decision. Then one of them is just, do the numbers make sense? Let's look and see, is this area not flooded with the same property? And are you not spending too much money on it, kind of thing? We will help you with all of that. So thank you, Dan. Dan's in. I'm so glad. Yay. All right. So that's the level of support and help that you can expect. Christopher Cash is asking, I'm jumping to the Q&A here. How do I build a buyer's list? In other words, once you acquire the properties, who do I sell it to? Well, let me back up by saying this has long been the way we roll. I am buying properties at less than 30%, typically, this is land, not houses, typically less than 30% of what we identify as retail in that area, so I can double my money and get out, and my buyer is also buying it less than retail. So, do I have trouble finding buyers? No. Here's why. Again, if I'm buying something for $35,000, because I think it's worth like 110, like this thing's great, and I sell it for 90, maybe I sell it for 80. I don't know. If I buy for 35 and sell it for 80,000, guess what? Everybody wins. My buyer is overjoyed, and this is what happens often. They're like, hey, do you have any more like this? Kind of thing. That's it. And like the example that I shared from that person that the Inland Academy earlier, they're like, I could probably hold out for a higher price, but I just rather get my money and move on, and go for momentum. That's the way I do it too. And it's kind of a running joke around here because Jack sometimes gets mad at me because I sell things too fast. I'm like, dude, what can I do? I am like, it was a great deal. I way more than doubled my money. It's going to be fine, So that's a really good question. Do I wholesale houses or just land? I do both. But here's the thing. So we're also House Academy. You can go check that out. That's a whole separate thing, but because there's a lot of different nuances to houses. So that's not included in this. What we're talking about right now is Land Academy. But with houses, and I have moved walls, put bathrooms in where they didn't exist, created a garage. I've done all that. I'm not doing it anymore. So here's what we do with houses. I'm going to come into an area that is strong with houses, and different times of year and different years, this is great. So like a few years ago, it was rocking, right? And when and right now we're looking at maybe dipping our toes in a bigger way back into it. But I've always got that kind of running in the background. But what we do with houses is I'm going to send out offers, and I'm only going to buy houses where I know I can make X amount of dollars. Like, so my $50,000, I'm not going to do a house flip as me, unless I'm going to make $50,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a house that maybe I'm getting it in the $400,000 range, or I can turn around and sell it right now for, closer to $500,000, but I'm not doing anything to it, because it's really, when it's all cleaned up and pretty, it's worth $700,000. That's what I do. So I'll buy it for 400, mark it up to like 450, 460. I'm going to sell it to a guy who wants to do the renovations and has the crew and all of that. And he's going to love it. He's going to come in and get it from me. It's still better than if he went and tried to find it himself. This is the best thing too. I'm finding these way below what they would have spent, not on the MLS. That's not how I roll. And then they're going to clean it up, make it pretty, and sell it for $750, $800. I don't know. I want him to make more money than me, and it works out great. So that's a really good question, Kima, and that's how we do houses. $295 a month includes, thank you, Britton. I'm really glad you asked that too, by the way. $295 a month includes nationwide access to data tree. Yes, that right there pays for it itself. I'll tell you now. And I've been watching. They've all been raising their costs. I've been seeing, shucks, because we're 10 cents a record. I've been seeing more than 30 cents a record with some of the different packages that they offer. So their costs have been going up. I have a pre-negotiated contract as a licensed provider, mine's not budging. So as I watch other people, other data sources change, ours has not. So yeah, that's huge right there. No, I don't, I don't have MapRight. I use ParcelFact, which is our own company, because we created that a couple years ago because I didn't have a good one. So, and so I don't shove you into one source for doing your due diligence. These are good questions, Britton. You're in the business. So Britton, you need to be in here. You're in the right room. Thank you. But I don't want to shove you into one source. So I don't include it at all. So some people like MapRight, some people like ParcelFact, some people use other tools. There's all kinds of things out there. So whatever sings to you. It's kind of like CRMs. I go back and forth with that. We've talked about providing a CRM, but it's like everybody has their own ones they like better. I don't want to shove you into that too. Can I show you mine and how I use it and all that good stuff? Yeah, totally. And we do. So, but I want you to pick the one that works best for you. So, hello, Juan George. Jack mentioned that farmland is more of a commodity. Yeah. But some people perhaps specialize in flipping this land type. Yeah. Are there any members that do this? Yeah. I got one on this call right now that I can think of that I'm not going to name. So the thing about farmland is it's harder to do the numbers that we do because most ag land and these farmers, they know what it's worth, and they're not selling at the way we sell. It's rare. I don't take them out of our mailers. Stuff might slip in there, which is great if something happens and I happen to stumble across something great. Actually, I'm buying a property right now that I didn't even know. It's 40 acres. It's totally fenced and it's all irrigated already. I'm like, oh, I'm fine. And I found out now this all of course remains to be true. Got to get eyes on it, really do my own due diligence. But I was told that this is like the third owner since the beginning of it being divided, or since it was, homesteaded or whatever, that they've been passing along the mineral rights. It doesn't happen very often. So, and I don't believe that. I'm still buying it as surface rights. So this would just be gravy if it's included. But anyway, but we do have people like that. That's the thing about our group. Our group is big enough with 500 people that I've got so many people doing so many different little nuances and specialties that, and I've got people that they can help you, and they probably have inside information to whatever you come up against. Another example is foresters. I've got all kinds of, it's kind of interesting. A couple of years ago, we had a couple of people that came to us that, like, I don't know, word was getting out in the forestry Facebook groups about what we're doing. So I've got a couple of people in our group that are really smart and very educated and can give you very good inside information about trees and all of that. We have people in our group that came from county positions. That's my favorite. Like, oh, great. Like I was the former, assessor over at fill in the blank. I'm like, oh, great. We got to talk kind of thing. So all kinds of awesome, amazing people in this group. Does Landcam use a proprietary CRM? So, I don't, Britton. I use Airtable. A lot of people, I know people use Airtable, Jura. I know people are here going to pipe into what else they use, but there's so many out there. The hardest part is setting them up. If you've not, this is a sit down for the weekend, and you're going to go dark a little bit, making your CRM set up and functional and pretty. But that's why I say pick the one that sings to you and just go with that. Fernando says, hello and thank you for tonight's program. Welcome. What's the difference between the monthly subscription program and the special we just emailed? Okay, so that's just to get you started, because there's the education, right? And there's the monthly stuff to have the tools that you need, basically like data tree and the stuff that we're talking about. So I don't even know Freedom Soft. Thank you, Paul. So what the difference is, Fernando, is I'm waiving a lot of what it normally costs to join. I'll tell you what it costs to join. Normally the cost to join, this I will share publicly. It's normally $29.95 what it costs to join Land Academy. And even then I've had people say that I should charge more, but we don't. And I have kept it like that for a while. So I charge $2,700 for the programs, for the education, and then $295 a month starting when you sign up. So as you can see from your email, you are not paying $29.95. So, but you will be paying the monthly thing going on because I got those contracts and the data and all that other stuff ongoing, and my staff. I got to keep the lights on for everyone to keep you rolling. So you're welcome. Excellent question. So please keep them coming. So I'm going to go for about another 15 minutes. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, Dr. Johnson says, I'm going to go back through. Hang on one moment. I'm going to go back kind of towards the top of the chat here and scroll through to see if I missed anything here. I'm taking notes. This is interesting. People taking notes, but okay. That's good, I guess. I'm glad. Oh gosh, sorry for you guys in the really cold weather. You guys have been in it. Shucks. All right. Emails, I think we covered that. Check your junk and spam. And again, send a note to support@Land Academy if you're not a member, and they will make sure that you got that. States or counties, land deal. Oh, Judith. Hello, Judith. Judith says, is it only a support group or is there a customer services support person to talk to? We have it all. So we have, you can reach out in Discord, and I'd say too, use Discord like a resource, before you start digging too deep, you can use it there's a really good search tool within Discord because there's so much content in there. You might find the answer to your question within there. You can message your peers in there. You can bring things up personally with usually us on our Thursday member call. If it's not us, then it will have a really good person. It'll be Carl and Samantha if we're not there for whatever reason, but usually it's us that you could ask any questions. We do one-on-one consulting. Carl and Samantha do that depending what your needs are. And we have all kinds of, groups for orientation to get you started. So whatever you need, we can make it happen. So here we go. Now down to Dr. Johnson. I have a vacant land listing. I have vacant land on a listing, and I'm not going to renew my sales agreement if the land isn't sold by the mature date. So I have to pay the listing realtor any commission. Probably read your contract. That's all I can say. Every contract's different, but most listing agents have a thing too about within X amount of days, they're still going to get commission. If the lead came in while they were technically, representing you, then you would pay them. Honestly, Dr. Johnson, I don't care. I bake that in. So my bigger question is, what happened with this agent and where are they dropping the ball? And that's stuff that we do too. So on our Thursday member call, you are totally welcome to go, this property's not selling. What's my agent doing wrong? And we can go, well, look at your views and why maybe we only have 2 pictures and nothing shows us what the property looks like. And your agent wrote 1 sentence and, fill in the blank. Your phone number's their phone number's not even there, whatever. We'll help you identify too what's going on. Because for years, I'll tell you, I didn't use an agent on the buy side. I never on the buy side, but on the sell side, I was listing my own property and taking my own phone calls. And I it's crazy, but I kind of had a good inventory running in my head that I was smarter back then, clearly, but people could call me and they could start to ask about the property, and I could go there and I could go, oh yeah, did you see the creek in the back? Is that not cool? And get them excited enough that if I was not at my desk, I'd have enough that I could say, let me get back to my desk in an hour and I'll call you to answer that other question, whatever it is, kind of thing. So we can really, my point is, I can really help you pick a good agent, know what good photos look like, know what a good listing looks like. So your agents are good people and are doing a good job selling your property and honestly, that's my normal way of selling right now too. I'm not listing my own properties for sale very rarely. And if I do, I'll do like broker direct MLS or something. I'll get on the MLS, not like just my website or Facebook Marketplace or anything. I'm getting it out there, and we'll show you how to do that too. Because some of you won't have properties that maybe make sense. Maybe it's under $30,000. You're like, okay, this one I'm gonna list it myself, but I need to get the reach. I need to get the eyes on it. I need to get in the MLS, and we'll help you and show you how to do that. Help you find a photographer and drone photos, which, by the way, we just got a drone today. And I can't believe that we haven't done that. Well, I know why we haven't done this before, because I have people that do that. I just hire people to do it, but we just got a drone today and I'm like so flipping excited to get out and start playing with it. It's funny. So wait. Thank you, Dan. Dan's like, I joined. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Dan Bauer. We'll see you Thursday. I know you'll be on all that good stuff. So I know you got to run. Thank you for coming. All right. Monthly. Let's see, what else do we have on here? Do I have any education on buying and selling on terms? I do. Back in our older programs, because we did that for a long time, Britton, I just couldn't take it anymore. I got tired of chasing people for $295 a month or $250 a month or whatever my property was. So, and there's so many people in Land Academy that are recovering from that. So they can help you with that too. So I had a really sweet gal. She may or may not be on this call right now. I don't know, who came to me the summer before last, I think it was, with about 100 properties on terms, which she had very successfully done with Mark's group. And I'm like, this is great. She's like, I can't take it. She's like, my staff is growing for customer service and these people don't pay, and then they go dark and I have to chase them and I have to do this and all the things that go along with that. She's like, I need help. I said, all right. So I helped her like undo that. I'm like, all right, first of all, call all your people up. How much do they have? Try to sell them the property. Then let's bundle them up. Let's try to give them to somebody, sell them to somebody else that wants to maintain and do those. So I can help you. I know how to do it. I know how to get you into it, and I know how to get you out of it. So wherever you are, Britton, with that, yes. So our original program when we first launched Land Academy in 2015 was that. It was just it was cash flow from land, that just buy it, sell it on terms, and theoretically walk away. But it's never that easy. There's always somebody that needs a little something. And it's so funny because I had one that I long forgot about, and it was just in like the last 6 months. They paid in full on this property. And I'm like, and they were sending emails and I'm like, who is this guy? And it was like, it was through FreshBooks or something. It was from so long ago. Like I was cracking up, like, I didn't even know this money was collecting there. This sweet person had still been paying on this property that I long forgot about. So you get in this business long enough, it's funny. You get a tax record and you go, oh, shoot, I still own that. I guess I should sell it. But it was something like that. And this sweet gentleman had paid the whole thing off. I don't remember how many years it was, but it was pretty darn funny that happened. And I have, Britton, I'll tell you, I have very few stories like they paid it off. Usually they went dark, and I don't want them to go dark. I'm calling them like saying, hey, well, let's just get back on track. I'll add a month at the end because I don't want to repost this. I don't want to redo this. I'm happy. I just want you to be happily paying. And they're, sometimes they lost their job. They're afraid I'm going to come after them. I'm going to chase them for the money. And I'm not. I just want to catch them back up. And it's so much more fun to buy for $25,000 and sell for $65,000 in a month. And then you look at that and you go, okay, how many terms people would it have taken me to do that? And then you go, never mind. Oh yeah. I don't rezone. These are good questions. So I won't rezone property, but I want to know what's possible. I don't want to close doors for my buyers ever. And I never assume what they want. But if I know that like a commercial, it's usually, if you, Dural, you're asking very good questions. I'm assuming you two are in the right room. It's easier to zone down than it is to zone up. Okay. Meaning, commercial properties and things open you up to a lot more opportunities. So I don't want to spend the time or the money, but if I know about what's possible, I'll put that in the listing or have my broker put it in the listing, like, hey, FYI, like, because maybe it makes sense for this property. It's right on the edge of, it's in a residential area, but right next to commercial. And you make a few phone calls and find out it takes 6 months and $3,000, and it could probably get switched. I'm not going to spend the $3,000 and wait 6 months, but I'll put it in there for my buyer. Should you want to change it, this is what's possible, kind of thing. John Dunn says, so with the monthly fee, would do everything we need to do, work the business right. Sending out mail is, because it's all a variable, how much you're going to send. So that's separate, and concierge is separate, because you might not want to do concierge. You might want to do your own scrubbing, because you're just an Excel nut, and like my Jack, and like my dear pal Samantha, but you know what? I even think, as I say that, now that I think about it, my dear pal Samantha, who does our orientations, Carl and Samantha, who we're working on some other cool stuff coming up this year together too, by the way. I'm going to see Samantha next week, is a data, like really a data nut. Like she goes past Jack in some ways. She's kind of going like, I don't need to do that work now. I can let concierge do it for me too. So I can focus my efforts on, picking new areas and doing my due diligence and funding other people's deals. So all that stuff is kind of as you need it, but we worked it out where it's affordable. And with offers to owners, they understand you. They know who you are, because it's us, it's our company. They know what you need and they'll help you. You are so welcome. All the questions here. Hi, Ray. Ray Simpson says, hi, Jill. Could you explain how the mailing services work? And as a member, does the monthly fee include data tree? Yes. So the monthly fee does include, let me go back to that, you guys. Okay. So the monthly fee does include nationwide access to data tree. It also gives you special pricing for offers to owners. There's special member pricing, and for Parcel Fact, if you want to use it, it's like, I think it's $75 a month, or there's an annual thing if you just want to pay an annual and not think about it. That's on there too. So there's member pricing. So, and how does the mailing services work? It's, you can have them do all of it, part of it, or none of it. They can pull the data, scrub the data, get it in a spreadsheet for you. They can, they'll give you a template, which actually is in your email now, just kind of everyone on this call, by the way, should have received in your email my offer, our land buying offer contract. You have that there. So my team will go do it for you if you want. You say, will you please put in this company name? This is my phone number. This is the email address I want on there, blah, blah, blah. They will do all of that for you. They'll download it, scrub it, put it together, take the data and the mailer, put it together and get it in the mail for you. Or you could take it all the way to the end. Like, I'm going to do all of it. I'm just going to send them the final PDF file that's ready to go in the mail. It just needs to be printed in an envelope and out in the mail. They'll do it all the way to that point too. So whatever you want, Ray, it's all priced appropriately for whatever you need. Here's Samantha. Thank you, Samantha. She said, it helps me focus on the money-making decisions. Yeah, like deal flow. Deal flow happens faster when they handle the time-consuming piece. That's perfect. Thank you, Samantha. You know what, Samantha, next time you and I should do this. That would be really good. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do coming up. In Land Academy, we have some breakout things. We have a Land Academy ladies group, and we meet on the first Tuesday of every month. And coming up, so for anyone here that is a lady joining Land Academy, you are welcome to join my ladies group. Doesn't cost anything. It's included. We mic up, we camera up. Sorry, guys. Wigs, we don't, it's just for the gals. But I'm going to bring my concierge data main guy, Daniel. He's going to be on the call with me the first one. So that's February 6th, I think it is. Daniel's going to be sitting with me literally here, shoulder to shoulder. And we're going to do a behind the scenes sort of concierge data. So you want to be a part of that. That'd be really good. And then actually, I'll tell you later in the month, later in February, I'm going to do a separate event kind of like this with Daniel too. So everybody will get to kind of ask him some questions and understand a little more about what they do and what's possible. I will follow up. Must leave now. Well, you're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Hello, Jimo. What financing options are available to members without a lot of cash? This is hard money lending. This is a really good question. Okay, I'm so glad you're answering this. That's not how we roll. I don't want you to borrow money. I don't want you to worry about interest rates. I don't want you to worry about, is my credit, somebody could do a credit check on me. So there's not money lending in our group, at least within my world of people. But what generally goes on within Land Academy, we are partnering with you on a deal. So if you find the greatest deal on the planet and you're like, I did everything you said, this is great. I don't have the $23,000 to buy this property, but we got to buy this property because look what it's worth. I'm going to go, no problem. We're going to do it together. And we could, if you have some money you want to put in, great. We can do that. You want me to be the whole bank? We can do that. You and I will work out whatever percentage makes sense to you and I. If I do all the money and you're doing all the work, and you've got a buyer kind of lined up, whatever, we could do anything 50-50 or any variation. Bring it to me. Often I do 50-50, but I'm open to anything and everything too. So, but a common thing is like you bring the deal to me and you go like, great, now I know we can buy this. I'm like open escrow. My team will step in now and get it paid. You're like, great. And now your job, Jimo, is go sell it. So you're going to go out and find a broker, whether you're selling it, depends on the property, of course. You're selling it on our behalf, or you're getting a broker. So basically, if your money's in it, where both of our names are going on the deed. If it's all my money, I'm going to ask that my name goes on the deed, but we have a contract and it's all spelled out, who gets what and who's doing the work and all this stuff. And it's just a 2-page contract. It's really basic too, but we don't, my point is there's no percentages and there's no sweating. So what if you and I do this deal and you're like, I'm sorry, Jill, I thought it was going to sell in 60 days. Now we're going on 90 days. I'm gonna be like, don't worry about it. It's fine. You got some leads. I know it's buried in snow right now. I know it's all going to change in April or May. Jimo, don't worry about it. Let's let it ride. I agree with you. We want to get a good price for this. We're not going to fire sale it. Nobody's sweating about it. It's going to be just fine. Thank you, Jimmy. You're awesome. Do you have any other questions? I think, oops, let me scroll down here. Oh, let me identify as a lady that day. Thank you, Robert. You know what, Robert, if you have a female, well, here's the thing too. If you have we have a lot of partners that, because Jack and I, that husband, wife, or even a brother, sister, whatever it is. If there's a female in your organization, if you will, they are welcome to join as part of your organization and be on my ladies call. So you can sure do that. Angela didn't see it. Okay, Angela Smith. Okay. Can you send a note to support@Land Academy? Because I need your email. So they don't have to go dig for your email, Angela, and then they'll send it right out to you right now. Hello, John Dunn. Do I run into many situations where you make an offer and you offer too much? Oh gosh, this happens. Okay. So I run into situations where I offer on an offer letter, I offer too much and I can't make enough profit on this. And if I follow through with the purchase, super good question. Sure, this is going to happen. This is one of the mistakes that I talked about earlier. You're going to make mistakes and that's fine. Sometimes you came in too hot. Here's how you know too, John. I love this. When all of a sudden, when the mail hits because your phone starts ringing, right? And all of a sudden, everybody loves you. They're like, this is great. I can't wait. Where do I sign? How can we do this? You're like, uh-oh. Everybody loves me. I have a pretty good feeling I overpriced this mailer, because if everybody was mad at me, then I knew I did really well. I did, then I'm like, oh, good. Okay, let's see what comes out of this. Let me turn them around. Maybe I'll add money. But do I take away money? Sure. So what I want you to do in this situation, take them all in. Just like go, okay, great. Love it. Will you sign that to me? Send me a picture. I want it because you want to make sure you get their buy-in, that they're committed, and then go back and look at it before you start panicking and worrying and taking money off or, and going there. Because sometimes there might be something about the property that I missed that, it is worth that money, but when I do my due diligence and I look at it and I go, well, shoot, I really offered $23,000. I should have offered $2,300. What do? We can help you handle that. And I do take money away and I can help coach you through that. And we do that with Land Academy all the time. All right. Especially on the Thursday member call. It's really easy for me to go here. Okay, John, here's what I want you to go back with. Point out to them this thing that you missed. Point out to them that the access is not what you thought it was. And I want you to point out this other thing, so you can go, oh, okay, got it. And then you can go back to the seller and say, look, I know I offered you $23,000. I goofed. And here's why. It's not as close to this. I thought it had this. And I'm going to have to spend extra money getting access or fill in the blank, whatever it is, kind of thing. So because of that, I can't do it. It just doesn't make sense to me anymore. But here's what I can do, and give them that number. And it's scary. Exactly. You can just imagine, but I'll coach you. That's kind of my side of the sheet. I'm really good at that and very comfortable with that. And thank goodness, by the way, that these guys are on the phone. So when you throw out these numbers, I know, because this is what what I used to do in the past. As you're learning, I want you'll have it written down. I'll coach you and you're ready to go. And you say, I meant 23. I know I said 23,000, but I mean 2,300. And if you're ready to go, I can do it right now. And I know you're going to be like, oh boy, here it comes. But I'll get you through that. So, and you can do that. And it happens sometimes. And sometimes I add money, like I said, sometimes they're, more often than not, because the way we price them, if they know anything about it, they are like, what? I'll go, well, well, tell me what's going on out there. What did I miss? And sometimes they just want a different number. I offered them 23,000. They want 25. I am not taking less than 25. Well, guess what? The way I priced it, I could probably do 25. And now they're happy. So there's so many little nuances that within Land Academy, we talk about and help you with and coach you all the time. So we'll get you there. You just need to show up too. That's it. You guys need to take action and immerse yourselves. And it's January. I hope we're all doing dry January. If you don't have to. We aren't necessarily doing dry January. I just use it as a funny joke. But the best thing you can do is put your head down and immerse yourself in this and really get involved. Be a part of the group, learn all that you can. And yeah, Are you going to miss some parties and some fun stuff? Yeah, you might. Maybe you don't watch all the games, but you get to go to Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But if you put your head down and do this, you're going to come up for air in 6 months or a year from now or 18 months, like the story I told you about earlier. And you're going to be staring at $300,000 in your bank account. And you weren't even really paying attention. You're going to go, whoa, now I can make some different decisions. And you won't always have to work this hard. Then you can afford to do concierge on everything. You know, I have it down to about a 2-hour work week on my land stuff, and I love it. I can get you there too. You're so welcome. How do we find the market value for the property? Comps, active and sold comps, and concierge will do that. We'll show you how to do that in Land Academy in 3.0. We show you where to go and scrape and how to use the tools and stuff like that. But if that's not your thing, then don't worry about it. I got people that'll do that for you too. Can I please ensure attendees get the land contact for use? Thank you so much. Yes. Anybody's missing anything? Support at landacademy.com. It should be on the last slide. I think it's here. Let me get that back as we wrap this up. There you go. Always can get someone at support at Land Academy. You want to talk to someone? Tell them, can someone call me? I just need to ask. I just need to find out these 3 questions. So you can go on Land Academy. You can either schedule a call or just send a note to my team like, hey, I just have 2 little questions and then I'm ready to go. Put them in there. My team will get back to you. So no problem. That email. All right, my team is talking about the emails going out, so great. Whew. Well, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you all being here, and I hope you feel the love in my sweet offer that I sent back to you via email today. Again, any questions? You know where to go. You know who to ask. This is who we are. We'll get you there. You just have to decide you're going to do it. I'll end on this. We did a podcast a couple of years ago about mindset and what's keeping you from waking up tomorrow, putting on a hat, literally and figuratively, that today I'm going to be a land investor, and you're just going to start down that path. Start telling everybody you're a land investor. Put it on your LinkedIn. Start prepping your emails. Start getting your stuff going. Join us. We will show you every little thing that you need to do. That's part of in our program too. Like, do I need an LLC? Do I need a website? Every little thing like that. It's in there. We'll help you. We mean it. When we made Land Academy, our whole business model's in there, so we can help you start and grow your own land investment company and take it to whatever level you want. Some people don't want to work that hard and have a nice life and do a deal a month and make $300,000. Some people are like, want to make $3 million, whatever it is, we'll get you there. So I want you to think about that tonight. If this is what you want to do, tomorrow you wake up and say, this is it, here I come, then we're right here to support you. That's who we are. And I love this. This is my favorite thing in the world to do, is to make other people rich. I got to be honest with you. When I get those stories, especially end of the year, we got a lot of nice people saying, holy moly, I did the math. Well, especially now too, it's tax time. We have a lot of people that are doing the math, are like, I didn't even know how much I made in 2023. Like, geez, you guys. I'm like, great. Now, what do you want to do? What are you going to do now? He's like, so that is the best thing that I get, is when I hear people are killing it, and they've left jobs, they've retired their husbands, they've retired their wives, they're doing it on an island, or they're doing it in an RV like us, or on the back of a boat. That's my all-time favorite thing. So Thank you very, very much. We just left. I'm in my office now, John, but we'll be popping back up in Colorado here sometime soon, actually. I have a little, we both have a thing for your awesome state there. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you, and happy New Year. And we will talk soon. Thanks. You are not alone. Don't forget in your real estate ambition. Bye, everyone.